Hello, so nice to meet you at this daily motivational meetings reading world scriptures. Very interesting quotes to empower you with positive vibe. These quotes help billions people and will help you too. We are reading the book from the beginning. Please find out all the chapters and our message to billions channel. And now we are reading about how to avoid mistakes and have a happy life. Next chapter is egoism and pride. Egoism, the inordinate preoccupation with one's own self, make people blind to the reality of God. The problem is compounded by pride, pride in ourselves, pride in one's wealth, knowledge, or power. Egoism and pride close us off from God. Think ourselves to be independent, we cannot recognize that our very existence is dependent upon ultimate reality. Pride makes us blind to the needs of others and to stubborn to accept help from others. Pride makes us unable even to take the accurate measures of ourselves. In Christianity, pride is regarded as the first step to the fall and rebellion against God. In Buddhism, grasping after the self and the sense of ego is the chief of all craving and the deepest truth of ignorance. In the Indic religious, egoism is fetter that binds people to the will of rebel. Father Moon repeats these universal teachings, but with particular emphasis on the social manifestation of pride and egoism among the affluent people of today, wealthy and powerful nations. He warns America in particular that it had better repent for its arrogance, which is seeping into every cranny of the social fabric, or inevitably it will decline. He also links egoism and pride to the human fall, which implanted that the weakest propensity deep in the human mind. First quote, the very man is rebellious, for the thinking himself independent, law unto thy Lord is the return. Another quote, pride goes before destruction and keep spirit before a fall. Woe to those who are wise in own eyes and sharp in their own sight. Selfishness may be sweet for oneself, but no harmony of the whole can come from it. We maintain that all pain and suffering are results of want of harmony, and that the one terrible and only cause of the disturbance of harmony is selfishness in some of the others. In thinking this I had, and that is mine, he binds himself with his self as does a bird with a snake. Sons have I, wealth have I, thus is the full word. Varied he himself is not his own. Where the son, whether well. Where egoism exists, thou art not experienced, where thou art is not egoism. But Jerome waxed fat and kicked you waxed fat. You grew thick, you became thick. Then he forsook God who made him and scoffed at the rock of the salvation. Nazame, God is on high, man is on the earth. God is God, man is man. Everyone in his house, everyone for himself. For the Lord of hosts has a day against all that is proud and lofty, against all that is lifted up and high, against all the cedar of Lebanon, lofty and lifted up, and against the oaks of Bashan, against all the high mountains, and against all the lofty hills, against every high tower, and against every fortified wall, against all the ships of Tarshish, and against all the beautiful craft, and the humblest of men shall be humbled, and the pride of man shall be brought low, and the Lord alone will be exalted in that day. The fool who thinks he is wise is called a fool indeed. Whoever proclaims himself good, no goodness approach him not. Confucius said, thoughtless man I cannot hope ever to meet. The most I can hope for is to meet a man of a fixed principle. And yet, where all around I see nothing pretend to be something emptiness, pretending to be fullness, penalty, pretending to be affluence, even a man of fixed principle will be no one too easy to find. He who tipos cannot stand, he who strides cannot walk, he who shows himself is not conspicuous, he who considers himself right is not illustrious, he who brags with will have no merit, he who boasts will not endure. From the point of view of the way, these are like excessive food and useless exercises, which all creatures detest. He who has the way does not abide in them. Pride has seven forms: boasting that one is lower than the lowly, or equal with the equal, or greatest than or equal to the low. It's called the pride of self. Boasting that one is equal to those who by some quality are better than oneself is the pride of being superior, thinking that one is higher than the extremely high, who fancy themselves to be superior is pride greater than pride. Like an absence in a tumor, it is a very vicious. Conceiving an I throw ignorance in the five empty aggregates, which are called the appropriation. It's said to be the pride of thinking I, thinking one has won fruits not yet attained is pride of concept. Praising oneself for faulty deeds, I know by the ways of as a wrongful pride. Detering oneself, thinking I am senseless, is called the pride of lowliness. Such briefly are the seven prides. Further, let's read quotes from the teaching of second coming Messiah, Reverend Samuel Moon. In you walk of faith, regard arrogance as the enemy, regard stubbornness as the enemies, and regard insisting on our own ways as the enemy. Because people are self-centered in their thinking, they speak ill of others. When others have something good, they want to take it from them. Such people are doomed. What about you? Is your mind self-centered or other-centered? No one can solve this problem but you. People whose philosophy of life me first are doomed to perish. In pursuing their own desire, they harm others and damage their nation. Such people will perish. Individuals should not take advantage of their nation. Rather, individuals should offer themselves for their nation. That is the duty of citizens. People are not meant to live for themselves, yet today many live only for their own sake. They say, I live for me. They are people to be pitied, like orphans who have no parents or siblings. The first step toward the fall was the appreciation of individualism. It was thinking that nothing in the world matters but me. Then next step was to think people have unlimited freedom. What's this with God telling us we cannot eat that fruit? Why should there be any rules to restrict us? We can do as we please. It is freedom when people do just they please. It should not be that way. From the day the first human ancestors fell and they received the blood of Satan, people unconsciously became arrogant and have used others to satisfy their needs. They have pursued that direction through human history. What is the fall? It is to unlawfully take what belongs to someone else. Self-centeredness ruined the world. Knowing this universal principle, human beings should return to the world of but instead they continue to play the game of pulling the world for themselves. That is evil. Human beings have inherited certain nature, the inclination to regard everything, even God, from a self-centered viewpoint. Are Americans proud of their money? Do not be proud of it before God. God can create money as much as he wants. Nor should Americans be proud of their power and military might. God is all-powerful. God is all-knowing. Who can challenge him with knowledge? It doesn't matter what you earned a PhD from Harvard. You are all the same when you stand naked before him. Your knowledge will not gain you admission into the kingdom of heaven. All who are proud of these things will fall into hell. I know that American culture upholds individualism. However, there must not be individualism that disregard the relationship between God, the subject, and human beings. His object, selfish individualism, is destructive, and its prevalence is driving America into a corner. Now, America should recover the essence of Christianity by seeking for God's original way of life. The individual lives for the sake of the family, families contribute to the community, community give the strength to the nation, nation exists benefit the world, and the whole world exists for the sake of God. These are God's heavenly ethics. If we partake it, then what it is God is also mine, and whatever I do for God also benefits me. Living for the sake of God is ultimately living for my own benefit. Selfish individualism is Satan's creation, a result of the fall. As Satan centers on himself, he divides people by having them centered on themselves. Thus, one individual became two, mind and body is conflict. Two, a couple become four. The man's mind and man's body, the woman's mind and woman's body. Why did America become such an individualistic nation? It is because Satan is exerting his dominion there. The so-called right of privacy is at the heart of American individualism. Yet this individualism is causing the family to break down and society to break down and the nation to weaken. Individualism is the most fearful thing. It leads people to hell. What is the origin of the dirt that has stained human history? It became from ourselves. Dirt did not just fall on our first ancestors, they made themselves dirty. How did they become dirty? They thought of themselves as being the center of everything. Egoism and selfishness are what stained them. it is our ancestors had lived in services to what is more precious than themselves, then they would not have taken the path of defilement. What is more precious than oneself? We are resultant beings, therefore we should live for the causal being. God is that most precious existence, and we should live for Him. Had people truly lived for God and thought of God before thinking of themselves, we could never have become evil. Many of you soon became arrogant and think, I am a member of the church, I have worked for the church for 3 years, so it is about time for Reverend Moon give me the blessing. Then he should recognize me, and so should the church. What a pity if you think that way. In our church, there are two ways of life: arrogance and humility. The way of arrogance leads to hell, while the way of humility leads to heaven. What about you? Do you belong to heaven or hell? Yeah, good question. Please watch one more time this video. If you have difficulties today, contact me for consultation or cooperation, or to become a member of Heavenly Parents Holy Community globally. Yeah, now I wish you a great blessed day, and please share this video as we and this billion happy life subscribers marathon. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye bye.